I did it. I did it again. The postman was just here. I got my coffee. Yes. I ran out of coffee yesterday. I had the weakest, oldest tasting cup of coffee because I had to bring all my old beans together. Well, they're not that old. They're like a couple months, but they were very stale compared to this lovely new coffee. Okay, anyways. Hi, good morning. No more rude interruptions by postmen who just wanted to give me stuff. Can you believe it? Okay, let's go to today's news. In today's news, what we're working on. Chris Wilson posts on Reddit. That's a scary place to be right now, but also very funny. I can recommend reading this little short story of... Where is it? How do I convince my wife's boyfriend that he is wrong for enjoying Path of Exile? I might read through that one tomorrow. It's very funny. For right now, I don't want to waste your time too much, so we'll go into this. Right. Players have been worried about retention numbers, but the fact is that there were 23% less people joining. However, we did see a stark drop-off over the first few days on like... how many people returned from day 1 to day 2? Obviously, there's a lot that changed the game in a way that made the game harder and to a lot of people less enjoyable. We'll talk about that. They've done a lot of hotfixes so far. They've been pretty active with that. That's pretty cool. T-posting is an issue that's still a thing. Okay, so for T-posting, if you still have T-posting issues, try disabling all MTX. That worked for me. I put on MTX and I started T-posting all the time. I took it off and it was gone again. Because I had no issues in the beginning. Then I put them on. Massive T-posting issues. Took them off. No issues. It's unfortunate, especially since I just bought some new MTX. So I'm hoping for that to be changed or fixed soon. Now... lots of things to dive into here. Okay, merchant artifacts. How many rune artifacts do you have? Like, just watching your artifacts on the vendor screen, I think was important. It's odd that they wasn't there in the beginning. In the footage they showed, it's like, why isn't it on there? But they're putting it on there now, so that's good. Refresh currency is too rare, people are saying, and I actually agree. I thought I was getting really lucky when I got multiple of Gwennons, and then I realized Gwennon is the worst gambler. Well, it's not. It's the least deterministic one, so you need to gamble a lot to get something good out of it. I will say, though, you can get influenced items and all sorts of stuff. I got like an I-85 Shaper Hubris helmet out of that yesterday, so that was like, ooh, that could be good later on. So there's... So you can choose the eye level of the base item there, and they can turn influence. That's really powerful. So Gwennon is not too bad, but yeah, you can't guarantee good stuff out of her. I think getting good rares out of it, like stat wise, it's really difficult. You can get good uniques out of there, so that's cool. People have been I think that's where people have been gambling tabulas from and such. Mana multiplier too high. They get it, and they're going to make some changes to it. I do think that PoE's mana is a bit weird because I get that they want to make mana more impactful, and I actually think they should. But here's the caveat: how do you make mana more impactful without screwing over people who are already on a strict mana budget, who are not investing into mana to gain either defense or offense? And the worst thing that can happen in PoE is when you're on like a boss fight and you run out of mana, and you're like, it goes, I can't, not enough mana, I can't cast that yet, or whatever they say. Like it's a terrible situation where you have to either log or go to town through a portal and then come back. With potions, yes, the enduring mana potion is a lot better now, and it helps a lot. And if you guys are not using it, you should, because it's a really good, like the new roll where it gives you lingering effects for the full duration of the flask is very good. So if you haven't been using that, it's something you should if you're struggling with mana. I'm using one. I have no problem with it because potions are overall nerfed in terms of power. So putting a mana slot in there to get you resources is a big source of power right now. So just know that, and don't feel too bad giving up a potion for mana, because potions aren't as strong as they were before at all. That doesn't mean that late game we wouldn't want to use it. Are there any changes to ailment and curse stuff? Right, so this change I suggested, and I'm happy to see them do it. So this is like, why not making at least recent? So it's 4 seconds if you use it while being affected by it. Oh, is it just all ailment immunity? It's not only... Aha, it's okay. Staunching will make you immune if you remove corrupt blood. That's good. An active thing. And then immunities from flask will be increased to 4. That's good. Okay, that's good overall. So you can pre-pot these. Yeah, I think that's a good thing. Okay, so the problem with PoE and flask is that if you wait for the active thing to happen and you don't pre-pot, well, you're not getting defensive benefits out of the flask, and you're waiting for you to be frozen before you click your flask. And it's like this counterintuitive setup where, well, you want me to use my flask before, but you also want me to wait to use my flask. What do I do? What's the correct option? And it's a lose-lose. Arctic armor granting freeze immunity. Why? This makes me happy. I wanted to add more stuff to gems that interacts with ailments and more counterplay. Like steel skin could be reduce corrupting blood, or even remove corrupting blood, or immunity. I don't know. The same thing with like immortal call could be like, I don't know. Molten shell could be like ignite stuff, and I don't know. There's a lot of stuff here that you could do. You could have alternate gem things to actually increase the effect as well. That one's dangerous because we've seen like chill effect, like reverse chill and stuff, but it could be kind of cool. No, I'm happy to see that. Definitely happy to see that. The map mod giving curse effect was such a dick, slap in the dick, honestly, because you have like builds that build around, oh, I will reduce the effect on me to the point where curses are not affecting me, and that requires a lot of investment. And then you have the map mod completely negating that. And I think this is a very good change. I think this is... I think it was a bad change in the beginning to have this effect stuff. Because it was like... It messed with so many things. And I think not having immunity on the flask is a good thing in general. I have not... I think it's... With this removal, I think the curses on the maps have actually increased, you know, what I'm looking for, and it's made me less complacent in maps. So yeah, I think that's been a good thing for overall gameplay. I know not everyone agrees, but I've been enjoying it. Like I don't like being cursed, but I like what it does for the game. Right, the nerf in Goatman, I hope that it's still gonna be strong. I hope that some of these things are still gonna you're still gonna feel the impact of it. You're gonna not want to jump into at least 20 goats now. I saw a clip of Most Positive Man jumping into 8 goats and then said, "Oh, I got one shot. I had nothing to do." But he ran through a zone where he knew there were goatmen, and then he was leaping at like 2 screens a second, and it's like, I didn't know I was gonna crash into that up front. But it's like driving on the road through the town at like 200 miles an hour, plowing through a bunch of kids on an intersection, and then being like, but I didn't know they were there. I didn't see them in time. Nerf intersections. I don't know, man. It's like, okay, maybe they are. I think they are too strong because they do 2 damage in like compared to the mods that are on the maps and stuff. But still, I don't know. I also think it's incumbent on the player to like play around this. But I will say I played a couple of Goatman maps and they're very scary. So I'll take a bit of a nerf as long as they still have some impact. Expedition currency, 20 different types, and I get why there are 20 different types. You don't have to explain all the different types for the vendors, and that thing makes perfect sense. Okay, I'm with you on that. As it stands, there's no reason to use different novel trade methods. And not, you know, any... What is this? We have a unified currency that works across all vendors. Then the correct behavior will be to determine which of the vendors. No, I like why there's so many different ones. I think that's really cool, and you can upsell them at the guy. And I think this whole vendor system is really cool. However, the picking up after having placed 6 things down to explode the things and clicking the chest and running back and forth because, oh my god, and clicking up the normal loot as well, and then it actually sits in your inventory and messes with your inventory, and then you have to go and put it in, and guys is like, oh, but we're okay with it because you can immediately stash it in the field. Stop! Just stash it in the field then. Or have a, just anything. There's a line here. Okay, there's a line here with all of the, okay, having said that, we hear you. There are too many splinters in Path of Exile. We will be mindful of this design in the future. I don't believe you. I'm sorry, but this is... I will stand guard about a lot of GGG philosophies and things they say and what they've done and whether or not things have changed in a good or a bad way. Because through experience over the last 9 years I've been playing the game, I've seen how the design and what we can rely on and what we, you know... So, like, whether or not, oh, but they're nerfing us all the time when they haven't. Like, when people go and make outcries about certain things in PoE, where it's like, it's obvious that they've never worked in that way, and why would they in the future, when people cry wolf and there's nothing coming? But on this thing, this is like GGG crying wolf, but there's nothing coming. Because, I don't know, until I see this, a real change towards how you address splinters, which have only gone up. And the thing is, this is a compounding issue as well. Because the more you add in splinters to the game, you know, the less they've, like, relatively to how much... Okay, there's like a certain amount of threshold, right? There's like a bar here. Let's say this is the full bar of how many splinters we can tolerate, right? And you've been filling this. Now we're at the very edge, right? Where you're filling in the last bits that it can fit to where people, like, kind of go haywire. And you're at that place. Okay, GGG. I see this line. I'm like, I have no reason to believe what you're saying here, because this hasn't been the case ever, and I don't understand why we need this. The biggest part of the impact of these splinters is when you actually go to one of the 4 vendors and you use them. This, like, because there's been GDD keeps talking about how, you know, there needs to be impact and you want to pick them up from the ground and such, but the impact comes by the fact that you see a nice big stack size. Oh, there's that many that you see the stack size. It looks good, the stack size. The picking it up doesn't matter because you need to first get it. You need to, like, accumulate X amount. So you go check, how many do I have now? Oh, I can afford this. Oh, wow, I had this thing waiting in my vendor. I can't wait to use it. Picking it up doesn't matter. There's so many other things to pick up, and this doesn't add anything. So stop saying that you'll be mindful and do something new. Be daring, okay? If you can be daring when it comes to balance and power, you can be daring when it comes to your own, you know, way of designing fucking splinters. You're making me crazy. Mystery boxes are coming. Cool. I don't like mystery boxes as a concept, but, you know, it is what it is. They need to make money, and at least they're being transparent about it and not pushing it too hard to people. So, you know, I wish there was a better way, but if it's the way, it's the way. So be it. How remnants work? Yes, so this is the thing. If you guys are being like, oh, I don't get a lot of stuff out of my expeditions, this is important. You need, whenever an explosion occurs on a remnant, it chains through the whole thing. It chains through the whole thing. So what you want to do is you want to find the best remnants that you can handle. You place them on the remnants. And then you want to chain it to especially the big skulls. And there's many of the skulls, like there's the big and the small skulls and the sticks. You want to find big splotches of those. And you want to, like, place them on those afterwards to really buff those up. You can only unearth them once. So you should make sure that they have the effects first. And then you chain them to that area. The same thing can be said for the the big expeditions. I forget what they're called, like the maps or whatever, the expedition maps. If you get like if you get like four, like I don't know, 6 to 10 good remnants in a row, and then the later part all gets buffed. I've had it so I had like 60% or like the 20% chance to get a unique from a dude. I was dropping like from every pack, I was dropping 1 to 2 uniques on every single subsequent one. On top of all the other loot I was getting, it was really cool to see. So you can make these chains really powerful, and that mechanic is really cool. I wish they zoomed you out a little bit. Why just not zoom us out when we're placing these things down? I mean, make it a trait that is because one of the, or give traits to some of the dudes that we have out there to like give it, I don't know, so anything to make the placement a little bit nicer with a little bit better clarity. I think the clarity overall has been pretty good on the what we're fighting, what the monsters are and all that, but it could be a little bit better. Maybe make them stand out a little bit more when placing them. The green is a little vague. Just a minor thing. Anyways, I'm happy to see these changes. Pretty cool. I'm happy that they're not like being, oh, we made big mistakes and such. They're addressing it in good ways, I think. And I don't know, I'm having a lot of fun this league. Let's keep having fun. Fun. Also, if I did I say this? But you should read this. It's really funny. I might read it tomorrow. Anyways, that's it for me. I'll go play games, video games now. Bye bye.